Okay. Give me a permission. Okay. Yeah. Okay. People ought to be placed when asked what is your earliest memory. People must be placed when asked what is your earliest memory. Placed.
Pleased નથી, pleased છે.
Yeah. Pleased हो जाए. Okay.
People ought to be pleased when asked what is your earliest memories. People must be pleased એટલે to become happy.
Yes. Unpleasant and a pleasant.
Yes.
Placed when asked what is your earliest memory. In my case, I'm totally afraid.
So the first sentence માં છે, people have sometimes told me they dread the question what is your earliest memory. So dread is something negative. You're afraid
Yeah.
of that question. So people ought to be pleased. So pleased to છે નહીં. It is the people are dreading this question. So they're not pleased. They're not
Yeah.
happy with this question. That is one thing. પછી
Yeah.
બીજે ક્યાં આવ્યું હતું એ વસ્તુ? Perhaps when film choice, but
But welcome
we
inquiries
should
about your first
welcome
memory.
inquiries about our first memories. It is a compliment if others are interested in our lives and experiences. So what is this sentence telling you? We should. What do you mean by we should? What's the difference between we are and we should?
We should, it means
We should become something, but it automatically implies that we are not.
અત્યારે નથી પણ we should એટલે
We will
કે
become that in the future,
advice.
but currently we are not that which we want to become. So that uh, that indicates a possibility of becoming something else. And we are એટલે we already are that. આપણે છીએ જ એમ. તો અહીંયા
So
શું
it
કીધું છે? We should welcome inquiries about our first memories. It is a compliment. So
yes,
you should be pleased, right?
yes,
But it does not mean that you are pleased.
are placed, yes. So no આવે
તો નો આવે કે yes આવે?
no આવવું જોઈએ.
Why?
એ તો પેલા એને dread કીધું ને અહીંયા we should કીધું છે એમ કીધું people must be
Okay.
placed when asked.
That is why. That's why I asked you to differentiate between we should and we are. In the first sentence, it is said that people have sometimes told me they dread the question. So this is a fact. People are dreading this question. It
Yes,
is happening in present.
yes,
It is not something that should happen in the future. It is already happening. So people are dreading the question. So people are already afraid of this question. But in this line, it is said that we should welcome the inquiries.
yes. About our first memory.
Ah,
Yes. So it's obviously no answer આવવો જોઈએ.
why no, or why yes, or why not given anything?
But currently people are not pleased about their earlier memory.
Okay, first you understood the difference between we are and we should, right? Did
Yes,
you
yes,
understand the difference?
yes.
Okay, now what is the question? People ought to be pleased when asked. એટલે people should be pleased. એનો meaning થયો.
હા એવું થાય.
People should be pleased. The ought to be is the paraphrase of should.
Yes.
So people should be pleased when asked. The question is not people are whether people are pleased or not. If the question had been people are pleased when asked, then you should say no, because see, in the first sentence they are saying that people are dreading the question. That would have
Out
been no.
what to have એટલે it may be it's definitely in future.
Yes, so e should thyu ought to is basically should.
Should, yes.
So
People
should માં
should
શું
to
છે? People should welcome the inquiries. So they
yes,
should be
it's
pleased.
happy.
Huh?
It's present for it.
Yes. So your first
Yeah.
answer was right. But
પણ એવું જતો એ રીતે.
but it does not matter whether your answer is correct or wrong. What
Yes.
matters is why why the answer is correct, why the answer is not correct.
Got it. Now, most research subjects have surprisingly similar first memory. Surprisingly. એમાં મેં નો કર્યું છે પણ જોઈએ.
Okay, why no?
There is no any clue about
No
surprise.
any. જો વરી પાછું આવ્યું no any.
There is
No
no clue.
or any. Use either of the two, but don't use both simultaneously.
There is no clue.
There is no evidence that supports this assertion.
Yeah. There is no any evidence.
So, very no any.
No, sorry. There is no evidence. There
That
is no.
supports this assertion or supports this statement.
There is no.
Okay, first of all, you need to find research subjects. So, where will you find the research subjects? Okay, forget about research subject. Most research subjects have surprisingly similar first memories. So, similar first memories. Have we come across this such a statement?
Similar, yes. Similar આવી ગયું છે. Similar first memory.
Okay, what kind of memories would the first memories be? Would the first memories be positive or negative?
Maybe first memory, maybe negative or positive.
Okay, what are the chances that the first memory is negative?
It is 25% of.
25% of the times the first memory has to be negative. And what about positive?
It's a double.
It's double. So 50% of the times the first memories would be positive.
Yes.
So now read the question. Most research subjects have surprisingly similar first memories. So if the first memories are similar, do you think that you could have this difference? The positive memories, for 50% of the times you have positive memories, and for 25% of the time you have negative memories. So do you think they are similar?
No, it is not similar.
Positive and negative are completely different. They're in fact they're opposite of one another.
Yes.
So similar first memories. So it is clear that the first memories are not similar. Okay, there's a difference.
નથી
Well,
હા.
negative 25%, positive 50%.
Yes.
That is why the first memories are not similar.
Okay. મેં આન્સર ટીક માર્યો તો પણ એ આના કારણે માર્યો તો.
શું?
સરપ્રાઇઝિંગલી નથી એમ.
સરપ્રાઇઝિંગલી ક્યાં પણ તારું લોજિક તો જો તે સરપ્રાઇઝિંગલી એટલે શું? ઓકે, સરપ્રાઇઝિંગલી સિમિલર એટલે શું?
સરપ્રાઇઝિંગલી સરપ્રાઇઝ નથી કહેતા એ.
એટલે સ્ટ્રાઇકિંગલી એવું સાંભળ્યું છે? સ્ટ્રાઇકિંગલી, સરપ્રાઇઝિંગલી.
આ સાંભળ્યું છે.
You were expecting the memories to be different, but still you found that most of the memories are similar. So that is something very surprising to you. So you can say that they're surprisingly similar. You were not expecting them to be similar, but since they are similar, you're surprised. So you say surprisingly similar. But what, I mean, there's the result is surprising. Okay, but so what does it have to do with the yes, no, and not given options?
મેં કીધું આવું કઈ આપ્યું નથી એટલે મેં નો આપી દીધું.
પણ આવું કઈ આપ્યું નથી એટલે નો. પણ તો આ રહ્યું ને, આપ્યું જ તું અહીંયા જ આપ્યું તું 25%, 50%.
I'm going with just one word.
But why? You have a whole statement. You have a collection of words.
Yes.
Don't restrict yourself to a single. See, in this case, the answer is correct. But still, I would say that the answer is wrong. Why? Because you did not understand the question. You're not able to find exactly where the answer lies. So that is why it is wrong. Although this is just a chance. It might not always happen.
Yeah, got it. Okay. Negative first memories are more interesting than positive ones. હવે આવું તો ઇન્ટરેસ્ટિંગ ની તો વાત જ નથી. પોઝિટિવ મેમરી ઇઝ ઇન્ટરેસ્ટિંગ.
Have we compared negative memories with positive memory?
No, there is no any comparison.
No, any comparison.
There is no comparison.
Huh.
There is no comparison about. There is no
Obviously. So
comparison
this
between
is,
negative and
if you're not comparing, then you cannot say one is more interesting than the other. So it's not given.
positive. In the past, academics completed enough studies of earliest memories. So अभी नहीं हुई.
No, but we have only read the first paragraph.
Yes.
We are yet
એટલે
to read the whole passage. So you cannot
we
say
just
that
go
this is
through
not
all
there.
the questions. नहीं नहीं એવું નહીં. We just go to the all the questions.
You're going through the questions. Okay.
So the experiment using witness to event have provided reliable results. Witness એટલે proof થાય ને.
Witness. There are multiple meanings. Experiments using witnesses to events have provided reliable result. So if somebody has committed a crime and you have seen that person committing the crime, then you are a witness.
Yes. એટલે
And
evidence.
no, evidence nahi. Witness is a person.
Okay, a person.
Experiments using witnesses. So witnesses are people who have seen something happening. So to witness something, that is a verb. So witnessing something is you're seeing something. You see something
Okay.
happening. That is
Okay, got
witnessing. But witnesses, this is a noun. We are talking about people who have witnessed the events.
Yes. Two events have provided reliable results. Okay.
Reliable results, results that you can bank upon.
And now we bank upon.
Hmm.
Reliable એટલે suitable.
Nahi, reliable is not suitable. If you can rely on whom can you rely on?
Whom can you rely on?
Yeah.
Mm,
I know that you will definitely do whatever I ask you to. Then I can rely on you.
okay. Depends on you.
Yes, I can depend on you. You are dependable. You are reliable. I can bank upon you. I
Okay.
can trust you.
Yeah. Okay, reliable result.
Hmm.
તો એની પહેલા મેં reliable ને શું કીધું તું? મેં કેવો word
Suitable
સાથે?
કીધું તું. Suitable નથી. Suitable is not the correct word.
Okay. Depends on. Good.
No. Depends on nahi ho. Depends on pachu the meaning changes because if
Only
depends.
depends.
હા,
Depends is a dependent result.
dependable અને depends એ વસ્તુ અલગ થઈ જાય.
Okay, depends is a.
ના, નહીં dependable જ થાય. Reliable or dependable.
Okay, dependable.
Depends on something એટલે it's now
ના
we're
ઉપર.
talking about something conditional.
Yes.
It depends on something. The outcome, it's like using the pipe operator in Linux. The output of the first command would be passed to the input of the second command. So the output of the second command depends on the output of the first.
Okay.
ઈ વાળું depends. એક વસ્તુ બીજી વસ્તુ ઉપર આધારિત છે. That is depends. પણ dependable એટલે okay, it is again very similar.
Dependable એના પર.
આધારિત, તમે કોના ઉપર આધારિત રહી શકો? Only on people whom you trust. You can depend on somebody whom you trust.
Yes.
So they are very similar, but they are not the same.
Okay. Reliable, dependable result. Okay, experiment using witness to events have provided reliable result, dependable result. Okay. And the writer to American and Asian children. તો એ શું છે? Writer refers to
Choose the
America.
correct answer. Say, so you cannot predict anything by reading the question. You have to see the options. You'll have to read the paragraph.
Okay, semantic memory, childhood amnesia,
Amnesia.
amnesia, autobi- autobiographical memory, reminiscence bump, અને flashbulb memory.
This is going to be a difficult passage.
લાસ્ટ પેસેજ છે ને એટલે લિસ્ટ ઓફ એક્સપ્લેનેશન આની બધાની ડેફિનેશન. ઓકે, એટલે મતલબ આવા વર્ડ બધાને હાઇલાઇટ કરવા પડશે ટાઈપ ઓફ મેમરીને. ઓકે, સો we moved on.
We moved on. એ તો પાસ થઈ ગયો. We will move on.
We are moving on the next passage.
Yeah, that is also correct.
Yeah. Historically, the topic of human memory in general most certainly attracted a great deal of scholarly attention.
Scholarly attention.
Attention तो ठीक है, scholarly.
Scholar. Scholar.
Scholar.
Whom do you call a scholar?
Scholar भाई ये.
એટલે કોણ પણ એટલે શું?
It means
Okay, who gets a scholarship?
a clever student.
A clever student. Then who is a scholar?
He's clever.
A studious person, a very dedicated person. He is a scholar. He's very good at studies.
Scholarly.
It comes from the root SCHOL. જો school હોય તો school માં બી you have the same prefix.
Yes.
Scholastic abilities. Have you heard about the word scholastic?
Elastic હોય સાંભળો ભાઈ.
Elastic નહીં, scholastic હોય. So scholastic is again the same thing, something related to studies. Scholarly is something related to studies because we have the same prefix. School. So all the words that begin with this prefix SCHO are somehow related to studies. And scholar. So scholar is a person who is very good at studies. Scholarship. So scholarship is what? The financial aid that a scholar receives. So that is also related to studies. Now, what would this adverb scholarly mean?
Scholarly means clever. એટલે વધારે પડતું સારું હોય.
Okay, so if you say scholar is clever, then scholarly should mean cleverly, isn't it?
Yes.
So okay, it logically it makes sense, but here it's not so. First of all, who conducts original research?
Okay, historical, the topic of human memory.
No, I'm asking you, don't read the sentence. I'm asking you, who conducts research?
People.
People. Which people? Who?
Historical, past, early age. Early age तो ना.
आदिवासी research करे? Arey, don't read anything. See, we both of us are talking. I'm asking you a generic question. It is not mentioned in this passage.
Okay.
Who conducts research? Research कौन करे?
Scientist.
Scientist, okay. Scientists, other than scientists, who else?
Professors.
Professors, okay. Where do the professors work?
In school.
School, universities, colleges. So scholarly attention એટલે
greatly attention.
Hey, prefix SCHO આવ્યું તો it has to be something related to studies. Now, great attention, from where did you say great attention?
School. Study attention એવું કહે છે.
Something,
કોઈ
okay. Historically, એટલે ઐતિહાસિકલી, the topic of human memory in general most certainly attracted a great deal of scholarly attention. So people started studying this human memory. But who studied human memory? The academicians, the professors, the
પ્રોફેસર
people associated with academia.
સ્કૂલ
And who are they? They are mostly university professors. So they were attracted by this topic, this human memory. So scholarly attention, એ કોઈ great attention કે studies related કે એવી વાત નથી, but scholarly basically means academia.
યસ ઓકે
There are two, basically there are two kinds of people who do research. One are scientists or people who work in industry, and the other group of people who conduct research are professors. So here we are talking about professors who are somehow associated with universities. We're not talking
યા
about scientists associated with industry. તો ઈ લોકો આના તરફ આકર્ષિત થયા, human memory તરફ. Okay.
Okay. Then, but our earliest memories were largely overlooked by researchers, which turned out to have been an important omission.
Okay, omission and overlooked, the words that should immediately strike you.
Yes.
What happened? But so આગળના sentenceમાં, if you read the first sentence, you see that uh, the researchers, the academicians are attracted by this topic. So that means that they are working on human memory. They are interested in this
Yes, yes.
topic. That's
They
why
are
they're working on it.
working.
But so now contrast. Our
Yeah.
earliest memories were largely overlooked by researchers. So what did these researchers do? Or what did they not do?
Largely overlooked by researchers. But earliest memory were largely. આગળ તો એવું કીધું કે આનું attention બહુ વધારે
પણ
એટલે નહીં
overlooked એટલે શું થયું?
બહુ ઓછું એમ.
Overlooked એટલે it's like saying skipped. The researchers were working on human memory, but they did not bother to study earliest memories. They overlooked it. એટલે they did not pay attention to it at all. એણે જવા દીધી, વસ્તુ જ છોડી દીધી. Which turns out to have been an important omission. Okay, now omission.
Which આવ્યું એટલે એને કંઈક સિમિલર હોવું જોઈએ. Which એટલે એને જે એની જ વાત
Yes.
કરે છે આખા સેન્ટેન્સ ની. ઓમિશન ઓમિશન એટલે કાઢી નાખવું એવું કઈ થાય.
એક્ઝેક્ટલી કાઢી નાખવું. એટલે જ મેં તને સ્ટાર્ટિંગમાં ઓમિશન અને ઓવરલુકડ ઉપર ફોકસ કરવાનું કીધું હતું. ઓમિશન ઇઝ ટુ લીવ સમથિંગ આઉટ,
છોડી દેવું.
ટુ omit something.
ઓમિટ ઉપરથી મને થોડો લાઈટ કીધું. Okay. But our earliest memory were largely overlooked by researchers, which turns out to have been an important omission.
તો important omission શું કામ? Because the study of earliest memories was important in the eyes of the author, but the researchers did not care about what the author felt. They just overlooked that topic.
એટલે important કીધું છે.
But so he's saying that it was an important omission. So it was a significant omission. એમ કઈ એ કઈ આલિયાભાઈ ને માલિયાભાઈ ને આમ જવા દીધું એવી વાત નથી, કઈ કામનું હતું.
Earliest researchers માટે just ignore it.
Yes, they ignored it, but it was not supposed to be ignored. It was
Yes.
an important topic. So if you miss out on something important, it's going to have a negative impact on your research work.
Yes. Okay. Then scientists develop a reasonable understanding of what we know called semantic memory. Now we are talking about the semantic memory. What is the semantic? Which is the ability to recall what might loosely be called data. such as date, times, or place in which a particular incident occurred.
This is straightforward. સમજાણું કે you need some explanation?
I need some little bit explanation.
Okay. Scientists developed a reasonable understanding. Why did this person use this word reasonable? Why not just understanding?
Because it's not be easier.
No, this is not about being easy or difficult. But when do you say reasonable? A reasonable amount of something.
Reasonable price is
Yes, reasonable price. So what's that?
reasonable price એટલે એટલી હોવી જોઈએ.
Reasonable price, yeah, but it's slightly different from this context. Reasonable price એટલે ઈ બરોબર છે જેટલી હોવી જોઈએ એટલી, પણ reasonable understanding એટલે you could say sufficient understanding.
હા એટલે એમ પૂરતું understanding.
ઘણું ખરું એમ. A significant amount of understanding. They're not saying that they understood it completely, but they gained a reasonable amount of understanding.
Okay.
They gained a reasonable amount of understanding. એટલે ઘણું ખરું સમજણ એ લોકોએ મેળવી. They were able to understand quite a bit. Okay, reasonable, you could also say quite a bit.
Yes, quite a bit understanding.
Yes, they were able to develop quite a bit of this understanding. What understanding are we talking about? Semantic memory. And then we have the definition of semantic memory.
Yes, which is the ability to recall what might loosely be called.
Okay, loosely be called એટલે roughly આપણે કહીએ ને કે it can be roughly be called this. એટલે you cannot call it accurately data, but you can loosely call it data, or you can say roughly you can say that it is data. Not exactly, but roughly.
Yeah, somehow exactly.
Almost exactly. એટલે loosely.
Yeah,
And what is that data? The data the data includes dates, times, places in which particular events occur.
correct. Show you
Ah,
okay. Ability to recall what might loosely be called. Okay. In general terms, semantic memory is fixed and static. Okay, it's fixed and static way. However, there are other
no,
form
no,
of memory.
wait. Static, opposite of static?
Uh, unstable, change થતી હોય એવી.
Dynamic.
Dynamic, હા. Sorry. Non-changeable, immute.
Immune to changes. Yes, a very good term.
એ પાયથનમાં આવતું ને એટલે મ્યુટેબલ. ત્યારે તે મને એકવાર કીધું હતું આને મ્યુટેબલ શું કામ કહેવાય? Why we called it mutable? Okay. However, there are other form of memory which collectively I call subjective memory. Right, yeah.
Clear.
Subjective memory કઈ which collectively I call subjective memory. કઈ memory ને?
આવશે આગળ.
Other form of memory which collectively I call subjective memory, and these are much more fluid.
So why more fluid?
થોડીક હળવી હશે એટલે
What is fluid? What do you mean by fluid?
fluid એટલે કઈક fluid તો શું કેવું?
Solid, liquid, gas. Fluid
Liquid
dynamics.
તરલ હોય પણ આમાં કેમ?
ઈ તું એને ભૂલી જા. ખાલી fluid એટલે શું થયું? Is it solid, liquid, or gas?
Liquid.
Okay, fluid is liquid. That is sure. Okay. What happens if you pour water into a container?
હવે ઉપરથી રેડીએ કન્ટેનરમાં તો શું કઈ ન થાય, એમાં ભરાતું જાય.
ભરાતું જાય. Okay, that is obvious. Suppose you have a round container. Then what shape will the water that you pour, what shape will it assume?
Uh, it's a round shape.
Okay, it will assume round shape. But if you pour the same water in a square container, what shape will it assume?
કેવું પણ આમાં તું શું પૂછ્યું?
If you pour water in, we are pouring water in two different containers. One container is round and the other container is square. What would be the shape of water in both the containers?
Both are different. It's according to container shape.
Yes. So basically, water assumes the shape of the container, right?
Yes.
And it's not just water. Any liquid will assume the shape of its container.
Yes.
So I can say that all fluids would assume the shape of the container in which it is, in which they are poured.
Yes.
So what does that suggest? What property of fluid are we talking about?
They can. It can change itself by its
So can you say
container.
that fluids are flexible?
Yes, flexible.
Because they are able to change their shape. They are not fixed, they are not static, they are changing. They can take the shape of the container in which you pour them. So
Yeah.
uh, if you put ice cube in, say, a round container, will it change shape? Until and
No.
unless the ice cube does not melt, it will remain the shape in which it was. That is a cube. It will remain a cube
Yeah. Okay.
no matter in which container you put. The
Okay.
solid will never change its shape. The
This
shape is
container.
fixed.
Yes.
અને ઉપર જો અહીંયા કીધું તું એને, semantic memory is fixed and static. It cannot change.
Hmm.
So now, however indicates a contrast. So if one
Yes.
is fixed and static, then the other one has to be flexible.
Flexible. Hmm.
So more fluid is what? It is more flexible.
Hmm. That is not a static.
Yes, it is not static. It is dynamic. It is fluid. It flows. It is
It
flexible.
it change according to its context.
Yes, it keeps on changing. It adapts to its surroundings.
Yes. Okay. For example, numerous experiments studying the memories held by witness to events have shown collectively that recollection of what happened can vary dramatically between individuals and even in the same person over time.
Okay, so now we are talking about flexibility. So the example that follows will illustrate the flexibility of subjective memory.
Yes.
That is for sure.
Yeah.
So if you
I'm
know that we are going to encounter some sort of flexibility, refresh the page.
okay. -1 minute left. એવું કા એવું?
ખબર નહીં. માઇનસ
અને આવું થાય તો કામ થઈ જાય ને. 20 મિનિટ વધારે ખેંચી લો તો.
For example, okay, so now this example is going to illustrate the flexible nature of subjective memory. That is for sure. So if you know this beforehand, then it'll be easier for you to understand the example. Okay, now let us go word by word. Numerous experiments એટલે?
નંબર ને લગતા હોય ન્યુમરસ એટલે ઘણા બધા એક્સપેરિમેન્ટ
Yes, a number of experiments, ઘણા બધા experiments studying the memories held by witnesses. Yes, હવે આ witnesses આવ્યું.
held by witnesses to an event have shown consume
બસ બહુ નહીં. Memories held by witnesses. So memories held by whom?
witnesses yani people who
People.
yeah
Witness એટલે ગવાહ. આપણે ઓલું ગવાહ કહે ને ઈ.
evidence
Yes, evidence નહીં. People evidence નથી. People
evidential નહીં ઈ નો કહેવાય કા evidential
નહીં, એવિડન્સ નો કહેવાય જ નહીં. એને વિટનેસ કહેવાય, પણ તું એને એવિડન્સ શું કામ કહેશ?
ઓલો જજ નો કે to pre ને give a proper evidence
તો ઈ શું છે? એવિડન્સ ઇઝ પુરાવો, સાબિતી.
તો ત્યારે
Something
એ
which
કેવા
proves
આવે?
something else is evidence. તો
ઓકે,
માણસ છે is a human. He or she is a person.
એવિડન્સ.
They are not proving anything. They are just witness. And why witness? I explained you why witness, because they have seen something happening and they are reporting what they have seen. So they are basically telling you what they have witnessed. Witness એટલે કંઈક જોવું, to see something. તો જેણે જોયું હોય એને શું કહેવાય? Witness. So if I have seen crime in front of my house, then I'm a witness. હું ગવાહ છું because I've seen it. And you are witness to something. The witness to what? Here we are not talking about crime. Here we are talking about events. So witness to an event એટલે ઈ event જેણે જોઈ છે ઈ. એવા માણસોની વાત થાય છે કે જેણે ઈ event જોઈ છે. The people who have seen that event.
હા, બરાબર.
A couple of experiments have shown that studying the memories, no, they were studying the memories held by witnesses to an event, have shown. Now what have they shown? Conclusively એટલે
કન્ક્લુઝિવલી એટલે
no, no, no. Is it probability or does it indicate probability or surety?
ઇટ્સ અ શ્યોરિટી.
Yes, definitely, yeah. Conclusive.
Definitely that recollections of what happened can vary dramatically between individual and even in the same person over time.
Recollection
Recollect કરવું એમ.
એટલે શું પણ?
Memories, recollection of memories.
So how do you recollect memories? So what do you
પહેલા
do?
કલેક્ટ કરેલી હોય ને પાછી recollect કરો.
એટલે કેમ પણ મેમરી કઈ ઘાસ પૂસ છે કે તું ઉહેડી લે જમીન ઉપરથી? How do you recollect memories?
પહેલા તમે કોઈકને પૂછ્યું, બરાબર?
It's not a question of other people. You are just sitting alone. How do you recollect memories?
So
There's
I'm not
no one around you. You are just thinking about your past.
okay. હું પહેલી વાર કંઈક વિચાર આવ્યો. મેં ફર્સ્ટ ટાઈમ મારી મેમરીને રિકોલ કરી.
Recall. Yes, exactly. I wanted you to say this word, recall. Recollection એટલે to recall the memory. You might have forgotten some things over time, but when you try to recall those memories, you will remember them again. That is recollection.
Yeah, got it.
And a recollection of what has already happened, એટલે some event which has occurred in the past. And what is happening, it can vary dramatically. Vary એટલે
આ વેરી એટલે વધારે હશે.
ઈ તો ડબલ અરે VERY થાય. આ VARY છે.
આ વેરી એટલે ઓકે, આ ચેન્જેબલ હોય, વેરી થતી હોય.
Yes, it keeps varying, it keeps changing. અને કઈ રીતે ચેન્જ થાય છે? Dramatically એટલે
બહુ વધારે પડતું.
significantly, yes. Dramatically between individuals.
Dramatical between individuals and even in the same person over time.
So now there are two ways in which this is varying. One, between individuals. So the memories differ from person to person. That is
Yes.
one way. And the other way is the
Same person.
memories vary in the same person over time. So for example, if you say that one so X memory is positive, and if I ask you the same question after 10 years, you would say that that memory is negative. So
Negative.
that the person is same, the person is not changing, but over time the interpretation of that memory is changing. So
Yeah.
that is how it's varying.
Yeah, got it.
And what is an example of subjective memory?
Example of subjective memory is क्या તું તો ખરા
ના આગળ એક સેન્ટેન્સ બાકી છે ઈ વાંચ.
આપ્યું જ નથી. ઓકે, હવે એક્ઝામ્પલ આવશે. Our earliest memory are another example of subjective memory.
So earliest memories which we're talking about is an example of subjective memory. It is not semantic memory.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Now go to the questions.
આમાં તો બહુ ભીની પડવાની છે જોરદારની. Most most researcher subject have surprisingly similar first memory.
We have already solved this question. We already solved the first one.
Yes, and most researcher have surprisingly similar the first memory. No. કેમ આવતું એ તો ખબર છે. અને negative first memory are more interesting than positive memory. There is no sorry. Ready. There is no comparison between negative and positive memories.
Not given.
There is not given negative and positive memories in this passage.
In
Sorry, in
this,
this paragraph.
in the previous paragraph also it is not given. Not only in this paragraph.
Okay, and આગલામાં નહોતું જ હા. So we left the all three questions and
But why,
move on.
why?
હવે આ બધા sequential question હોય ને એટલે.
Sequential question છે તો you solved 29th, it is not given, તો પછી 30th, why did you skip 30th?
Sequential જો આ ન હોય paragraph માં તો બે આ બે
પણ
બી ન
એમ
હોય.
નહીં, આ negative memory, this we answered this question in the previous session. First paragraph, after reading the first paragraph, we answered the first three questions, 27, 28 and 29. Now we need to start from 30th.
તો ઉભા રહે તો મને આ કેમ ભૂલાઈ ગયો. Negative first memories are
કેમ
more
ખબર તને કેમ ભૂલાઈ ગયું?
આ કે comparison તો અહીંયા કઈ આપ્યું નથી.
હા તો not given, તો ઈ તો ડિસ્કસ કરી લીધું તો ગયા વખતે.
પણ it may be comparison આમ કે હોય તો આગળ.
So okay, you can keep it open, but for now it's not given in our.
So now we okay એટલે મેં એને skip કર્યું હતું. In the past academic completed enough.
Pause is very important. In the past academics એટલે ભૂતપૂર્વ academic ના, in the past academics completed enough studies
of earliest memory. અહીંયા તો નો આવવું જોઈએ.
why?
જો અહીંયા શું કીધું હતું, પેલા લોકો રિસર્ચર તેને ઇગ્નોર કરતા, ઓવરલુક બાય રિસર્ચર.
Okay, but a still better word for supporting this assertion. Overlooked is fine, but which other word will 100% justify your answer?
એક જ મિનિટ. હા બોલો. હા એટલું બધું નહીં હોય, તમે કેટલું છે? થોડાક ઘટશે. કરાવો ઓલા ને થોડીક વારમાં. હા તો મને હિન્દી આપણે કેટલી વાર લાગશે?
બસ 15 જ મિનિટ, મારે 12 વાગે નીકળવું પડશે.
15 મિનિટમાં હાલો આપણે આવું. દવાખાને જવું 15 હે? હા તો વાંધો નહીં, મને ખાલી 15 મિનિટ આપો, હાલો એ કરી દો. ઓકે મારે જવાનું. હા વાંધો નહીં. આ ઓવરલુક કીધું છે, ઓવરલુક બાય રિસર્ચર, તો એને ઇગ્નોર કરે છે એ લોકો.
But I want you to find out a word.
Academic completed.
Okay. In the past, academics completed enough studies of earliest memory. So your answer is no. But which word justifies your answer? Overlooked is fine, but I want you to look at one more word which is even better than this overlooked.
Academic and scholarly attention.
So how does it justify your answer? You said that the answer is no. Okay, fine. Which two words did we use to
okay, certainly attract a great deal of scholarly attention. And
no, the answer lies in the same sentence. But our earliest memories were largely overlooked by researchers. So we had focused on two words from this sentence, right? Which were the two words that we were?
Okay, I'll try to.
પણ તું
explain
એથી
all.
અટકી જાસ, તું આખું સેન્ટેન્સ શું કામ નથી વાંચતો?
Okay, but earliest memory were largely overlooked by researchers, which turns out to have been an important omission. અહીંયા omission આ લોકો
હા,
એને
પણ તું તારો છે ને મોટો પ્રોબ્લેમ એ છે, તું અડધે કોમા કે ફૂલ પોઈન્ટ કે કઈક આવી જાય કે ફૂલ પોઈન્ટ તો રોકવું જ પડે, પણ
કોમાએ રૂકી જાવ છું.
read the whole sentence. Don't stop after you come across a comma or any other punctuation other than full point.
I got it.
So yeah, that
Okay.
answer is correct. No, but the word that best supports your assertion is omission.
Omissions. પણ હું ઓવરલુક જ અટકી ગયો તો મને આ એક મારે થાય
તને
કેવું
ગમી
ખરેખર.
જાય એટલે તું અહીંયા અટકી જા, પણ આગળનું શું?
બરાબર છે. ઓકે.
પછી
હવે
experiment.
આન્સર મળી જાય તો આગળ હું કરીશ. ઓકે. So that's why answer is no.
No, yes.
Right? હા તો મળવા મળ્યા, હું તો આગળ સ્કીપ કરી દેતા ને.
હા, એમાં કઈ છે જ નહીં. હાવ ઈઝી હોય, એમાં એક કઈ ક્વેશ્ચન એટલો ડિફિકલ્ટ ન હોય, બધે તને બેઠે બેઠા જવાબ મળશે.
હોય 100%. Experiment using witness to events have provided reliable results. પહેલા તો events find કરવાનું છે. Where is event?
ના. We had a very good discussion on
Witness, sorry.
reliable results and witnesses both.
હા, witnesses and reliable results. Okay, so પહેલા first of all, where is the witness? Witness is, I think here is witnesses, okay, and reliable results. So, for example, numerous experiments studying the memories held by witnesses to an event have shown consecutively that recollection of what
Conclusively એટલે focus on this word.
surety વાળું.
Surety વાળું. This will help you answer the question. Okay.
હા, એટલે મેં રાખ્યું હતું, મને મગજમાં હતું conclusively એક આન્સર છે surety વાળું. That recollection of what happened can vary dramatically between individual and same person over the time. And I also the experiment using witnesses to event have provided reliable results. Reliable ને conclusively આ surety વાળું છે ને reliable we can trust, whom you can trust.
So what do you think?
I think it is yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
કારણ કે શું કીધું? Held by witnesses to an event have shown conclusively that whatever. Okay, we are not concerned with the result that is obtained. We just want to know whether that result is reliable or not. And how do you determine whether that result is reliable or not?
Shown conclusively.
It is a conclusive result.
Yeah. So now we will move the next question. Moving on.
Now we'll move on to the next question. The writer refers to the American nation in the fourth paragraph and all. We have not read any of this. But yes, go to the table. We can definitely answer
Semantic
at least one
memory
or two questions.
as well as BGK memory the last semantic.
But the question, you only have one here, semantic memory.
Okay.
They're not asking about the other type of memory.
Okay, બાકી આ memory હજી એક હતી ને?
Subjective memory and semantic memory. There were two types of memories. One was very fluid, one was flexible, and the other was fixed and.
Which statement are suitable for semantic memory, right?
Yes. So now just read all the sentences and see which one fits this
right.
question.
Suitable for this semantic memory. Yeah. It describes recollections that are associated with very strong emotion.
Okay. Are we talking about emotions in this paragraph?
Oh, it's
eliminate it.
Emissions.
Omit it. Emission એટલે તો કાર્બન એમિશન્સ, જે બધા
કાર્બન એમિશન, હાઇડ્રોજન એમિશન.
એમિશન and omission are different.
ઓકે. હા, ઈ એમિશન મને ખબર છે, ઓલું સમય જાય એટલે એનું ઓલું ઉતરતું જાય. હા.
ના ઉતરતું જાય નહીં. એમિશન એટલે ટુ એમિટ સમથિંગ એટલે ટુ
ઘટવું ન થાય.
ઈ તો રિડક્શન થાય, ઈ એમિશન નહીં. તો હજી નથી ખબર પડી. એમિશન એટલે emission of gases in the atmosphere એટલે શું થાય? છૂટે. Yes, the production and discharge of something. એટલે શું
The
કહેવાય એને?
effect of lead emission on health. Discharge, release,
યસ, રિલીઝ. જો
outpouring છે, leak છે. Okay, release.
these are so common words that it is very difficult to explain. કારણ કે આમ
Yeah.
શું કેવું?
Omission એટલે તો આ exploded.
Yeah, you are leaving something out. That is omission. But emission is to release something.
Yes. Okay, એટલે પેલું તો કાઢી નાખ્યું.
Okay, eliminate it. પછી it is associated with a period of our lives that we would like to return to.
ના હવે lives that we would like to return to. The period of our lives. હવે એને past memory ની વાત તો કરી હતી પણ હવે
But did the author say that we want to return to those memories?
નહીં. No.
Okay, then let it go.
It describes the period
Lifelong. Okay, focus on lifelong.
lifelong memories begin. Nah, lifelong નથી.
Okay.
It is associated with the memories that we recall most vividly. Vividly એટલે vast થાય.
Vividly એટલે
Vast.
no, we can recall it clearly.
Okay, clearly. Better recall clearly.
Vivid colors. You must have heard this in the context of colors. Vivid colors.
Yeah, vivid color.
So if you can recall something vividly, you can recall it in every detail. Perfectly. You can recall it perfectly.
Most vividly, yeah. Recall most vividly. હા એવું કંઈક હતું તો ખરા. Semantic with his ability to recall what might loosely be called. ના અહીંયા loosely be called કીધું છે.
ના. Loosely be called નો મતલબ શું હતો? Roughly.
Roughly કીધું છે અને અહીંયા very clearly.
નહીં. You are confusing it. Loosely be called ની આગળ શું હતું?
What might be called.
પાછળ. Loosely be called પછી. After loosely be called.
Data.
So don't be in a hurry. Read it again. Which is the ability to recall. તો તારો છે ને સૌથી મોટો પ્રોબ્લેમ તને નથી સમજાતું એવું નથી. But whenever you come across a word that catches your eye, you stop there. You don't care about reading what's written after that, and that is going to mess everything up. You'll make mistakes sometime or the other. You thought that loosely is contradicting vividly. There's some contradiction between loose and vivid. That's why you stopped here. But that is not the case. શું કીધું એને? Which is the ability to recall what might loosely be called data. So this is just a very simple benign assertion.
Yes. મેં થોડોક વધારે એ તો ગમે ના હોય.
કોન્ટ્રાસ્ટ ની વાત જ નથી આવતી. એ શું કહે છે કે ભાઈ એને શું કહેવાય? એને રફલી તમે ડેટા કહી શકો. યુ કેન રફલી કોલ ઇટ ડેટા. સો વોટ એમ તો લૂઝલી ને વિવિડ નો એમાં કોઈ કનેક્શન
ભેગું જ નથી થતું. વોટ માઇટ ડેટા
vividly recall એટલે you can recall something in its every detail. You can clearly recall it. And this is you are just naming something. It can loosely be called data. એટલે you are just naming this semantic memory. Ability ને તમે name કરો છો, નામકરણ કરો છો.
ઓકે તો બસ આ મેમરી ની લાક્ષણિકતા અહીંયા જ છે. તો એને જ આપણે પેલા લઈ લઈએ ને. ઇન જનરલ ટર્મ સિમેન્ટિક મેમરી ઇઝ ફિક્સ્ડ એન્ડ સ્ટેટિક. આ બે વર્ડ ઉપર છે.
It is fixed and static. અને એમાં બીજું શું હોય? ડેટા હોય. Data such as date, time, place એવું કંઈક હશે. So keep those things in mind.
Yes. It associated with the memories that we recall most vividly. એટલે આ તો નહીં જ આવે. ક્લિયર તો કઈ રીતે કહી શકીએ? It describes certain events that we wish we could forget. નહીં,
એવું તો છે જ નહીં.
એ નહીં આવે. We could forget નહીં. It describes hard facts such as when or where an event happened. Yes. Hard fact.
Forget about hard facts. હાર્ડ
When
ફેક્ટ્સ
and
શું
where
છે
આવી
એનું
છે.
ડિસ્ક્રિપ્શન આગળ આપ્યું જ છે, સચ એઝ વેન ઓર વેર એન ઇવેન્ટ હેપન. તો હાર્ડ ફેક્ટ્સ એટલે શું? હાર્ડ ફેક્ટ્સ એટલે વેન ઓર વેર ની ઇન્ફોર્મેશન.
તો આ થોડુંક છે.
ઓકે, થોડુંક છે. રીડ ધ લાસ્ટ ઓપ્શન.
પ્લેસ ની વાત આવી and
યસ,
time ની
ટાઈમ
વાત.
એન્ડ પ્લેસ. યસ.
Yes. It is associated with a story we have created about ourselves.
Here we have not created any story, so
Yes.
definitely it's not going to
Answer
be
is
answer.
F.
Yes, F. And you can clearly see that this ability can be loosely called data.
Yes.
Date, time, place in which the event occurred. So F is the answer. That's it. So you were saying that this third passage will be very difficult, but is it really difficult?
No. પણ યાર કે છે થિયરી બેઝ હોય ને, ફિનોમિના બેઝ.
પણ તું તારા મગજમાં એક એવી બીક છે કે ભાઈ આ વસ્તુ ડિફિકલ્ટ હશે, પણ તમે એને એક પછી એક સ્ટાર્ટ ડાયસેક્ટિંગ એવરીથિંગ, રીડ એવરીથિંગ સ્ટેટમેન્ટ બાય સ્ટેટમેન્ટ, તો ઇટ ઇઝ વેરી ઇઝી. યુ વિલ ફાઇન્ડ આન્સર્સ રિટન રાઇટ ઇનસાઇડ ધ પેસેજ. અને શું કરવાનું? યુ જસ્ટ હેવ ટુ ફાઇન્ડ ધ પેરાફ્રેઝ ઓફ ધ ક્વેશ્ચન or maybe the options mentioned in this questions. તું એ જોઈ લે એટલે આન્સર મળતા જાય.
યસ, નો, નોટ ગિવન, નો અને યસ. લાસ્ટમાં નો યસ કીધું ને, નો યસ યાર, 100% રાઈટ.
હા, અને take it slowly, take it chunk by chunk. If you look at the entire passage in a single go, you'll feel intimidated. There's a lot of information to process. You might not remember everything, you might not understand everything at the first go, but take it slowly, take it sentence by sentence, and then try answering questions after the completion of every paragraph, because it's easy to deal with one paragraph rather than handling the entire passage at the same time. And if you say, for example, if you are able to find answers to two questions, then you will feel motivated. Then obviously, if you feel motivated, you'll read the second paragraph, and then that excitement will drive you to solve the entire passage. એક પછી એક. અને જો understanding is the key. If you understand everything in detail, then there is no way you can make mistakes. Even if you want to, you'll not be able to make mistakes.
તો મારે ભલે જેટલું થાય એટલું, આપણે તો બેસ્ટ ટ્રાય કરી છે, બટ મારે તો 9 માંથી 9 બેન્ડ લાવવાના તો છે નહીં. 7 આવે તો મારે ચાલે, પણ આનાથી 7 નહીં પણ વધારે બી આવી શકે.
આવી જાય, કારણ કે જો તું, અને આમાં કઈ અઘરું તો છે નહીં, બધી વસ્તુ અને બધા આન્સર તું જ ગોતસ. એમાં મેં તો એકય આન્સર નથી ગોઈતો.
ના, ઇટ્સ a help of you.
પણ
I found the answer, but it's a help of you.
તે અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડિંગ ઇઝ ધ કી. તને જ્યાં લગી સમજાય નહીં ત્યાં લગી તો કઈ થાય જ નહીં.
હા, એટલે એટલું પ્રોપર તો મને નથી સમજાણું ત્યારે. Even in my whenever I went to the classes.
સારું, હાલ 12 વાગી ગયા, મારે જવાનું.
કાંઈ નહીં, મારે દવાખાને જવાનું છે.